Just down a quiet back road in North Florida, we met a couple who spent more than 35 years in law enforcement. And instead of retiring to the beach, they decided to build something completely different. Today, we're sitting down on the porch at Turkey Hollow Farm to hear the story of how this place came to be. Welcome to Back Roads and Front Porches, where the stories of small-town America come to life. From hometown helpers to those keeping traditions alive, we're exploring the people, places, and moments that make these towns feel like home. After leaving Claremont this morning, we headed down a quiet country road to a place called Turkey Hollow Farm. We'd heard a little about it, but we didn't really know the story behind it. Turkey Hollow isn't a big commercial farm. It's something much more personal. It was started by Corey and Peggy after they retired from more than 3 decades in law enforcement. 35 years in law enforcement. You retire.
Right.
You were in the Keys. You were in a beautiful area.
Yeah.
But what brought you all the way up here?
Peggy and I started talking like, you know what, when we retire, this might be a good spot to be in and everything, so we could kind of have like a midway point, if we stay down in the Keys. Anyway.
We've always wanted a cabin. This is something and we wanted Appalachian style 1800s. And so Corey kind of designed this. We had a person in Williston cut all the logs. We had another person put it together.
We had decided to do a Halloween festival here just for us, and it was going to be for the community because, like Peggy had said, it's a community outreach thing, but it's also, there's not a lot of money in the area and stuff. And, everywhere you go, it was costing $15 or $20 to go do something.
$30 now.
It's just insane. So we thought we'd do it for free. And if people want to leave us a donation, they could. People would leave a couple bucks or whatever. And it was fine. So we decorated the whole woods and we did that. And that was all a big thing for us.
It was a huge thing.
Yeah.
Corey did the 10 acres and we had animatronics.
But all the animals were there and the whole place was lit up with stuff. And the same like with the Christmas festival. So
all October, 3 nights a week. So
wow. Yeah. So and
we already have it bigger and better.
Of course.
And we're getting.
Yeah, that was a little embarrassing because we weren't expecting it at all. But
they did we're not nonprofit.
Yeah, we're just
we just take in the animals.
Yeah.
But they gave us a nonprofit award because we do so much for the community.
Yeah.
No.
How'd that come about?
I'll let Peggy tell that.
A pig.
Yeah.
A pig.
Their Denellen Feed Shop have you can bring in an animal, drop it off, no questions asked. A friend from the feed shop knew them and called me and said, "Do you want a pot-bellied pig?" And I said, that might be kind of cool. So I called and they questioned us like crazy because they had a lot of people wanting it. But the people that wanted it wanted to butcher it. And they asked me right out, "Do you want to butcher it and eat it?" I said, "No, I'm not going to kill it." So they said, "You got it." Penelope is her name.
Yeah.
And honest to God, from that one pig, we had somebody from the church pull up, open their back, gave us 2 goats. She couldn't, bad divorce, couldn't afford it. She was crying, "Please take them." So we took 2 goats. And when she left, she goes, "By the way, they might be pregnant." So YouTube is my friend. I'm like, oh my gosh, but they weren't. They're just fat.
Yeah.
And then
so Lindy, the sheep, you'll see her back there, and I was working at the ranch, and I'm driving past, and I see this little sheep running around, and she's running to all the animals and stuff. I'm like, what is she doing? So I kind of watched her for a second. I go around to the back pasture and everything, and then I find her mom, and her mom had passed away, and she was laying over and things. So I drive in, and I'm in a little cart type thing, a side by side. So they're inside the pen are these big, they're Watusi cattle. They look like longhorn cows, but they're, African. Anyhow, I go in there and they're not mean or nothing, but they're big and
they're expecting that he's going to feed them.
Right. So they're coming over to see, and of course you don't want to be so close to them where they, if they horn you or something. So this little lamb sees me and she comes running over to the cart. So thank goodness from probably here to the tree, she comes over and I get her and off I go, and the cows are kind of running after, thinking I got food. Get her out, she goes over and it's out in the sunshine and she lays down by Duke. So she started following Duke around everywhere and thought Duke was her mom. I mean, it was the greatest thing because she was so little. She's probably like Jack's size.
Yeah, she was little.
Oh, I think just like Lindy's the most personable. She's got the most personality of everybody, the little sheep and stuff. And she's just, like I said, she was raised with the dogs, so she definitely thinks she's that. So I think she's probably the one that's.
I love Penelope,
Yeah.
the pig. It just, I don't know why.
The pigs were all good. When I first got Clyde, he was a real skinny one, but he was like a dog. I could whistle for him. He'd be over at Mark's and I'd whistle and he'd come running.
He would bring rain.
Yeah, and he had to get fixed, so now he wasn't real big on that. He doesn't like me at all anymore.
He's not friendly. But no, there's no favorite.
No,
we
no
love
favorites.
them all.
They just, they all have their own personalities. When you start being around them all the time, you're like, oh my gosh, look at what she's doing. Look how she's acting. So they're pretty cool.
It's all Corey.
So when we worked at the sheriff's office, our sheriff was really, really big into having that community outreach and having, being a part of the community. And of course, as a commander, that was my responsibility to make sure my guys were helping and doing and being involved, being committed to these events and stuff. So
After 35 years in law enforcement, I don't think you could find a more opposite thing.
Right. Gosh, I hate saying this. It's just so much healthier for you because you're outside.
Thinking about the animals, we were talking about Daisy earlier and that you found her a year ago down the street. We talk about Lindy, the sheep. Do you ever think about what would happen to these animals if it wasn't for you guys and what you're doing?
Well, one thing, Duke, somebody dumped him in the Everglades.
Yeah.
Since he's part pit, if animal control picked him up there, they would put him to sleep because you can't have pit bull in Dade County. So he's probably lucky that we got him.
but we're super lucky to have him now too, because
love him.
And Daisy, they're both, Daisy's a spaz of stuff, but she's still a good girl. And she's learning her boundaries and stuff, but she just, you just think, God, what would have happened to her? Because she was with another dog. You told him that story, right?
Yeah, it was awful.
And we don't know what even happened to him, but things worked out good. And the poor thing, her eyes were all messed up. So, here's the good thing for us though. Our granddaughter, she's only 4, but she loves this place.
It's her farm.
Yeah. This is her farm, and this is where she's going to come, go to school, and become a vet.
Animal vet.
An animal doctor.
Tells everybody. Yeah. Animal doctor.
So she's going to do that. So we look forward to her getting as she gets bigger with stuff. That's another great. It's been a great thing and just super, super good. But I got involved in it because some friends of ours had talked about. They stayed at a harvest host when they were on vacation. I'm like. And they said, have you ever heard of that? And I'm like, yeah, I know what that is. And my dad had talked about that, and that was the way we were going to travel around because it was going to be less expensive, and you could do all these different things. And or the next week,
we had people.
Yeah, we started getting people, and I was like, wow. And it just went,
We've
went
had
crazy.
400 people now.
You mentioned the Jeeps and the trucks, so
yes.
that was another big thing too. We really tried to make this more looking like a 1800s homestead and stuff. So the truck is a 1950s Willys pickup truck, so it looks like something out of the Walton.
Corey and Peggy spent decades serving their community in law enforcement, and today they're still serving people, just in a different way, by building a place where families, travelers, and neighbors can come together. If you enjoy these kind of stories and stories of small town America, the communities and the people that make them special, subscribe, follow along, and we will be showing you around America, one small town at a time.